Okay, well, it's clearly Oscar season.
Is it January already? It feels like it's January. Is it January?
I feel like Rules Don't Apply was so long that it is January now, and we just went to go see Incarnate, and Brian must be busy looking for me. Actually, it makes sense that you're here at Incarnate, because Brian was at Voiceless, the religious movie. Like,
we gotta switch.
We got to switcheroo.
We're getting ready for 2017. We're mixing it the fuck up.
Yeah.
We're just sending Brian to kids' movies from now on.
Brian and Allison are at the kids' movies now.
No, let's make it really interesting. Let's send Allison and Jared to kids' movies together.
That would be pretty good. Jared likes all of them. Allison's pissed.
Because Jared says something every episode.
Or maybe likes Smurfs 3, which admittedly does look like the better of the three. But, so Incarnate is a piece of shit that's playing in theaters right now.
That was a stunning hot mess.
This movie is... I know I use this term a lot. This movie's frustratingly bad because it seems like it should be good trash. Yeah. And it's not.
No, it could have been really fun trash.
Yeah. If you had told me that there was an exorcism movie in theaters starring Aaron Eckhart that's like an exorcism movie version of The Cell, but for some reason feels like it's maybe in the same universe as The Replacement Killers... I would...
With some stuff taken from Inception?
Yeah, with a little Inception thrown in there.
And some Ironsides.
And Ironside. And if you also told me that it is actually a failed pilot of a TV series, which is kind of what this feels like...
Yeah.
I would be like, that sounds like some good garbage. Like that donut that's on top of the garbage that's still technically edible.
No, that's garbage, Brad.
No, it's garbage, but...
You don't eat the garbage.
It's garbage that is still fresh enough it won't make you sick, and I maybe won't regret it afterwards. But no...
You're still eating garbage, though, man. This is a bad analogy. Don't eat garbage. I love you. Don't do that.
Oh, come on. How many McRibs have we both had so far this
winter? But none out of the garbage!
They kind of start out from the garbage, Dave.
No, they don't.
Don't get me wrong, it's delicious. It's quite delicious. But there is a difference between eating a donut that's on top of the garbage than one that's all the way at the bottom that's soaked in fucking drunk urine.
Why do you pee in your garbage can?
Because I was probably drunk.
Listen, regardless, it's still eating out of the garbage. Don't do that.
No, yeah. And don't pay money to go see this movie.
No, please do. I want them to make a sequel.
They're not making a sequel to this. To this piece of shit?
No.
No, the director's too busy making Journey 3 From the Earth to the Moon. The lost chapter of the From the Earth to the Moon miniseries. Thank God. So Aaron, this movie... Again, it feels like I should be having fun with this. This is a movie that starts out with Aaron Eckhart in a nightclub, again, like it's the fucking Replacement Killers and Blade, where he's inside the mind of a possessed guy's head, because that's what Aaron Eckhart does. He can go into the minds of possessed people and pull them out, again, like Inception meets The Cell. And he's called in on another case. He's in reality, he's in a wheelchair by the Vatican. Yeah, by the Vatican. Because he's called in on a case of a possessed child, of fucking course. And he's got to go into the mind of the child to bring the possess. Man, I wanted to enjoy this in a shitty kind of way, and I never did.
No, because as soon as that nightclub scene is over. It started with the little kid getting possessed.
Oh, when he literally says, "Let the games begin." And that is not even the worst line in this movie.
No.
Because the worst line is kind of amazing.
The worst line was when it went from being like, this is awful, to like, this is awful.
This is mesmerizingly awful. When Aaron Eckhart, which I have always loved Aaron Eckhart,
Oh, same here.
And by God, do I have even more respect for him after this, because he plays this part as if it's not trash, as if like he's back in another Christopher Nolan movie, as if he's in a Neil LaBute film.
Yeah.
He does not sleepwalk through this. He is playing this like, I'm a great actor and I'm hired to do a job and I'm doing my job.
But see, the thing is, I think he was kind of sleepwalking through it, but he's such a good actor that it didn't...
That you can't tell.
And he's so obviously the best part of this horrible movie.
Yeah.
That it's just kind of like, well, shit, he could just be making fart noises and he'd still be the best part of this horrible fucking movie.
Yeah. Him in this movie is like Kevin Bacon in The Darkness. It's sort of like, what is happening here with this? Suddenly there's a level of acting gravitas brought to this shit.
They're like the Kevin Bacon horror movies from the late 90s, early 2000s. Like,
well, those were still good. Like, Stir of Echoes was fucking good.
What's the one, Paint It Black? No, that used Paint It Black. Yeah, it was something.
No, it was that. It was Stir of Echoes. That used Paint It Black.
Okay, yeah.
That was a good movie, though. Now, Stir of Echoes 2, on the other hand, with Rob Lowe, that's more along the lines of some shit like this. Like The Cell 2, that direct-to-video sequel. Fuck. And with a straight face. Like, I gotta hand it to Aaron Eckhart. He never cracks in this movie. He never shows a smirk. He never shows that he's in on how shitty this is. He goes from beginning to end.
He had to know.
Yeah, he had to have. And from beginning to end, he does it with a straight face, and he says the line, "When I was 26, I figured out I could go into the minds of possessed people." Okay.
And this is 3/4 of the way into the movie.
And there is nothing added after that.
Nope.
That is their explanation, which opens up so many more questions.
No, it's, this whole movie is one of those movies that, like, it tried so hard to explain everything of what's happening. And it's one of those movies where it's like, listen, man, this is a cheesy horror movie. Mm-hmm. Let us just go for the ride. We don't need a whole lot of explanation. Like, it's more effective. Mm-hmm. Like, you could have the dumbest fucking concept.
Totally.
And if you execute it well, we don't need the explanation. Mm-hmm. It follows.
Yeah.
The dumbest fucking concept.
Mm-hmm. But they made it scary.
One of the most effective scary movies in the past 15, 20 years.
Damn good fucking movie. No,
Stupid,
totally.
but it is one of those movies when you read the description and really think about it, you're like, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah. This is something to where if you had, like, maybe the visuality or, like, the art design or something of, like, The Cell.
Yeah.
The movie could have been effective. I mean, it could have been intense and scary. But out on the flip side of that, as like a late-night B movie or something, it still could have been fun if this was like a Christopher Lambert film.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been like a total blast.
They just... like, it's frustrating in the sense that almost all of the elements are there. Like, even the concept, as dumb as it is, it's like, you can make this work.
Yeah,
you can make this work. Mm-hmm. But the guy who wrote it was just like, I gotta make it. Everyone's stupid. Let's explain it. And it's just like, let's add some more backstory to it. It's like, no, dude, we get it. His wife and kid are dead.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah. His wife and kid are dead. You can kind of tell what movies the writer of this had watched recently when he wrote it, because Aaron Eckhart's sidekick is Joaquin Phoenix from 8mm, and not to mention the fact that the climax of this movie involves the demon coming out of the kid and possessing Aaron Eckhart, who then opens the window and jumps out of it. That's really familiar. I could have swore I seen that before. Didn't that happen in Repossessed?
Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of like...
There's so much to... The fact that, first of all, the fact that fall out of a pretty fucking high spot, he's still kind of alive after that. Meanwhile, the kid's dad dies within seconds of just falling from the ceiling with a broken arm. Stupid.
Really dumb. Really dumb. And it's just kind of like, man, you had a pretty decent cast.
More or less. I mean, yeah. Eckhart was great. The others
lady
were
from
fine.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
That was the mom. She was fine.
Yeah, no, she was fine.
Like,
the kid acting was a little bad.
well, it's
in this.
the kid from fucking Gotham. He's terrible.
Oh, okay. I don't
It's
know.
young Bruce Wayne from Gotham.
Oh.
He's fucking awful.
I haven't seen
But
Gotham.
it's just like the way they treated this demon, too. They're like, how does the demon jump from person to person? Oh, it's through physical contact.
No, it's because the writer had just watched Fallen.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's through physical contact. Okay, I'm just going to go in a room alone with it. And I'm going to take a bunch of drugs so I fall asleep. Mm-hmm. But there's this demon right here that could jump into my body just by poking me. Mm-hmm. This makes a whole lot of sense. Let's not chain it up or fucking nothing.
Yeah, I was thinking
It's
the
just
same
sitting
fucking
there in
thing.
the middle of the fucking floor.
Everyone's stupid. The fucking dad goes in there to talk to the kid, and they explicitly tell him, no matter what that fucking demon says, you don't fucking touch him. What does he do? He gets his fucking arm broken and dies from falling 5 feet.
Oh, the other... it's just... The movie contradicted itself so many times. It took time in the beginning of the movie to have a note that I actually kind of liked, where they're like, they're not demons. Like, it's not denominational. They're horrible creatures, but every religion has a thing for them. Like, it's not just you, Catholic lady.
Yeah.
And then he defeats it by shoving a cross in its mouth.
Yeah, which is one thing I will say about when I saw the poster of the movie where the crucifix is going inside the screaming mouth, in my head I was like, that's eye-catching, but I'm sure it's one of those posters where nothing like that actually happens in the movie. No, it actually does. Doesn't make any goddamn fucking sense. That actually happens in the movie. Why did this movie have the credits from Stranger Things?
Because Stranger Things was popular.
Another thing that the people who made this movie just watched. God, I can't.
Whole lot of fade cuts. It was a weird mess of a movie.
It was such a mess. It was a goddamn mess. I don't know what in the fuck this movie is doing in theaters at all, let alone December.
Like, I hate to say it because I'm not furious at it as I have been at a lot of terrible movies the past couple of years, but this is, I really gotta say, on the bottom 10 movies of the year list for me, I think. I might have to think about that, but but just from a storytelling perspective, this was one of the worst I've seen in a really long time.
I was miserable in this fucking movie.
I was just so enraptured by the train wreckiness of it. It's like, why don't we make movies in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Like, our movies aren't great, but they're better than this shit.
The fucking Lord, yeah. Like, I was mesmerized by the fact that, again, it felt like I was watching something that is burned off on TV in the summer because it was a failed pilot.
Yeah.
And even a lot of those are better than it. I watched that 78 Doctor Strange movie like a couple of weeks ago. Far fucking better than this goddamn movie.
It was like a failed pilot for, like, the CW. And they're like, okay, well, let's add another hour of footage to it and see if we can't make it a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. That is totally what this movie was. And even the part when he's inside.
Not even the CW, I'm sorry, the WB.
The WB. UPN.
Yes.
When he's in their head, there's nothing original about it. It's not like it's nothing. Like
it's very it's simple and it contradicts itself. Because in the first one, in the nightclub scene, everyone in the nightclub turns out to be a demon of some kind. And then the next time he goes into the little kid's head, he's running through a fucking crowded ass carnival. Yeah. And they're all just like, "Hey man, you all right? You all right?" It's like
through a carnival, through the park, through a carnival. Again, there's certain things that they really could have elaborated on in this, or like extended. Like, there's a part where,
like, the little escape room he gets to every time, it's always the same room, just a different color.
They always have to go through a window, and plus, there's a part where he thinks his wife and kid are still alive, but then it turns out he's possessed and this isn't actually real. And they really, if this movie was smart in any way, shape, or form, they really could have really made it like kind of a conflict in his head. Like, do I stay? because I have my wife and kid back.
And they could have
Or
ended
what?
it on that decision.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. That would have been something interesting in this. And no, they don't do anything with that.
And the thing, like the ending too, where he jumps out the window, it's not shocking, because in the first 20 minutes he goes and talks to random other exorcist who's like, here, take this. And use it to kill yourself. Use it to buy yourself 10 seconds to kill yourself. And by the way, because I'm an asshole, I counted at the end when he took it. It took him 35 seconds to kill himself. Because you know what? He's handicapped, and he crawled across a floor to get to a window. It did not take him 10 seconds.
Well, that reminds me, too. Did they say something in this movie about, like, all of this has to be done, like, in 2 hours or something like that?
8 minutes.
Oh, okay.
8 minutes.
I got you.
And it's one of those things, like, if you're going to set up that rule in a movie, I hate it when you don't stick to that rule.
Yeah.
Like, if you say something has 8 minutes, and then in my opinion, unless you're cutting back and forth to other things,
Yeah.
you have 8 minutes.
You
of
have
screen
8
time.
minutes to do this scene.
Exactly. And if it takes a second longer, then you failed as a filmmaker. Like, honestly, that's my opinion.
Yeah, or you failed as an editor.
There's exceptions to every fucking rule.
Sure. Yeah, if it's a parody. Like,
Or not even a parody. I mean, if you're doing slow-mo or you're doing something else, yes, you can bend those rules. Or if it's good enough that you can ignore it.
like Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Like at the end with the bomb going off in Fort Knox.
Yeah.
And like, that was ridiculous. But yeah, that's a great fucking movie.
But if you give yourself a timeline, stick to the fucking timeline. And it drives me nuts that...
No, I agree. It is one of those things that'll instantly take you out of a movie. I can't say
Okay, it's gonna take a half hour of screen time.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I necessarily noticed it in this movie, but I was busy just wanting this shit to be done. Yeah. I had had enough of this fucking movie 20 minutes into it.
And this movie, it was just like, he had these two assistants with two different characters, and neither of them got fleshed out at all.
Lord, no.
But the girl one, I thought, was just completely unnecessary.
Oh, you could have made that just one character.
Exactly.
You could have totally made that one character.
And then the representative from the Vatican is, for some reason, a beautiful woman. Like, let's be honest, if you work for the Vatican, you're either a security guard, a nun, or a priest. And that's fucking it. That's fucking it. Even their lawyers are fucking priests. You don't have a woman in a tight business suit as your fucking representative.
Which goes along to this feeling like a fucking CBS procedural.
Exactly.
Especially with, again, the like tattooed sidekick shit like it's fucking NCIS.
He works with computers, give him tattoos that make no sense. Give him a metal shirt.
I don't I don't recommend this at all. I don't even recommend this as like a Netflix watch or anything.
This was really bad.
If you want something like dumb, silly, and stupid, just throw on a Netflix and things like that. There are better. There are way better options than this.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of dumb, stupid things to kill an hour and a half or just have on in the background. This isn't worth it.
No,
like don't give bad shit like this isn't bad in the way like yeah, watch it. I want this guy to make more movies. Like this is bad in the sense that we need to stop this man and end his career because. Should not be making movies.
Or not this. Not, yeah.
And I feel bad because obviously there was some talented people that probably worked on this. Like, you know, like, whoever did the camera work did a fine job. It wasn't outstanding by any means, but it was fine.
It certainly looked like something you would have seen in the 1990s.
Oh, yeah.
In the late 1990s. But not even because I love some great like late 90s trash. Like I totally do. I could watch The Replacement Killers any fucking time. This even if this came out 20 years ago, it would still be a piece of shit. And not a fun piece of shit. Like this would be crap. Any other final thoughts on this?
Fuck this movie.
Fuck it.
I could be at home holding my child.
And instead,
I'm at the shit with you.
It Incarnate. Well, at least it was only 90 minutes. It was a short film.
It didn't feel like it.
It kind of did to me because it felt much shorter than Rules Don't Apply did, which Rules Don't Apply far fucking better movie than this. I almost want to bump my recommendation of Rules Don't Apply up to just like a matinee. So I'm like, more movies like that should be in theaters regardless of all the fucking problems it had. Not this shit. I don't even know what next week is. Assassin's Creed, maybe? I don't
Yeah, I
fucking
think so.
know. But anyway, whatever it is, we'll see it. See it.